My automatic instinct is to turn some tunes on.
I know, right?
Stupid copyright.
That's what I said. That's what I think.
What is up, y'all? It is your host, Rennie, and you're listening to another episode of the Call Me Crazy podcast. OPI. Wait, I've never seen that box.
Yeah, but they're new. That's why I was encouraged to really go out and grab something.
See, you should have done a reel. Did you do a reel for that?
No, for my OPI nails.
Yeah, people would have been. You said it's a new thing. People would have loved to see like a little clip of you grabbing them on the shelves. Clip of you opening them up. Bing, 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 ding. Bing, 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 ding.
Really?
It's a beauty product, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. It's nails. But I never thought of it like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like on your makeup page.
Yeah, I could do that.
And then like the cover photo is just like a picture of your nails, plain Jane, like with nothing behind it.
Yeah. Smart.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that next time.
I think what you should try different would be to just always take, and I know you already do this, but just always take content. So like, for example, like the nail stuff. Any beauty products, anything you're getting new, anything you're trying, whatever, just take, that's what I do. I just take still 5-second videos, like that I can just cut on a TikTok. Because you're really good at like seeing something and then being like, okay, this is how I would do it. But rather than that, you should just stock up on content. I would actually say 10 seconds, because sometimes 5 seconds is too short. And then you can also add some videos with movement. But when you're at work and you have downtime and you see those things, you can be like, oh, I could actually plug this video and this video and this video in here.
Yes, exactly. And so, like, that's what I'm starting to see, and, like, I've been trying to do, like, you know, like, I'm starting to understand the value of taking little videos. Like, I do that when I go to the concerts. You know, like, I do that, like, for my, like, little, you know, but I need to start doing that for... Yes, exactly. But now I need to just start incorporating it in ways where it actually utilizes, you know, and... You know.
It's like I've been seeing people do like story times and rants like with the 3-minute ones.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's smart too.
Because it's like still short form content but still longer.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Instead of like just cool transitions and like where you're not talking, no personality.
I know.
Like just like fun.
No one,
you know?
No one, I feel like no one on my Instagram actually genuinely knows my personality or who I am at all.
Did you listen to...
I did.
I listened to that where I was like, I literally thought she was just like, and it's not for any reason, but you're just so pretty and like Instagram baddie like.
I know, I appreciate that.
No, like you seem like, I don't know.
And it's not my goal. And my goal is,
I know,
but I just like, it's not like my goal to like even like try to portray. I'm just being me.
No, but you have such like a sultry face and you do makeup so well that it just looks like you're so put together and you must be like, I don't know. Like
no. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Like no one knows how funny you are. Like no one knows how like goofy you are. Like no one knows on your Instagram.
I know, man. It's crazy. Like there's like two videos in total. Like I posted on my Instagram. Like just my story where I like definitely like showcased my personality a little bit. And I got some good feedback on it too, because they were like, "What? Like you never do this." But
are you cutting the cream?
I sure am.
Oh my god, yeah.
Sure am. So I laid the eyeshadow down like that deep, cool, like brown shadow.
I saw that.
Yeah. So I laid that down, and I got the shape. I really mainly focused on like what the top line looked like, not necessarily what the shadow looks like on the bottom, like more towards your lid, because I'm exactly. But yep, you just kind of do that to get the shape on top, and you want to get it nice and dense and dark because when you do cut it, it has like that definition. from like darker to lighter, like blend it out.
It's so funny because I didn't know when I should try and intro this podcast because it's been going so well so far without any intro. But I guess I'll do it now since I'm interrupting you.
Yeah, go for
it. So this is the new series, I believe it's the 5th season, episode, God knows who. But it's called The Process, and I wanted to revisit business owners and entrepreneurs and creatives and talk to them about business some more without being the Be About Your Business series, because that was a great series. I think it had 5 episodes in total. And it was amazing. I talked to a lot of business owners, a lot of successful people, black and brown, young and old, white, Hispanic. I feel like I talked to a whole bunch of people about a whole bunch of different things. And it was great. But I wanted to bring the business aspect back without being the same as the last. So I thought to myself, what angle could I spin it from? And I don't know why the process stuck out to me, and just learning one's process on how they go about things. So I think that really ties into the natural conversation we started off talking with about content creation, how we can get better with our process with that. And then Jazmyn just started talking about what she is doing to my face right now. So I think after all of that chatting, Jazz, do you want to tell them what we're getting ready to go do today?
Sure. Wow, that's exciting. So we are getting ready to go to a portrait slam event. I believe you know the owners, but I believe it is owned by a couple. Yes, and so they do events where they invite a certain amount of photographers and a certain amount of models to like basically network and get content for each other and just like really get to know people. This is my very first one. I've been wanting to do this for probably 6-7 years now, since pretty much since they've started doing it. And so now I'm finally going to be able to do it, and with one of the best people to go do it with, so I'm so excited. And it is a film noir theme.
Yeah.
So it is old Hollywood theme, that like dramatic black and white film.
Would you say like it's like 50s, 60s era, or?
It's 40s, 50s era. Okay. Yeah. You're leaning more back into the 40s rather than into the 60s. So that's why, when I was looking for your looks, a lot of them were coming up looking very like 60s. You know what I mean? And that they still had the cut crease, but it was more like doll-eyed. This one's going to be more sultry.
Gotcha.
Because that's really, that's more the vibe for the 40s rather than the 60s.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've been wearing my hair in an afro, which has been a really easy hairstyle since I've had the length to do so. But I definitely had to look up some inspiration for some more pinned down looks. So hopefully it comes out okay. I know like people usually test the hairstyle before they go ahead and just do it for the day. But this is we're doing something new.
Yep, we're in the same wave because honestly, don't know how this is gonna turn out either.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yep, I tried something new too, so we'll see.
We've got some curlers, we've got some pins.
We're looking real cray right now.
We are, but hey, this is what it takes.
Oh yeah.
This is the process.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So you always do eyes first?
So mainly, yes. Mainly I do eyes first. Just because I want the face to be as, sharp, as clean as possible. And, if I were to be doing your face first and then your eyes next, I'd be touching your face right now. I get better precision when I don't have anything on the face. I can, utilize the face more to like stay steady. And also, especially with a look like this, your eyes are dramatic. I'm going to need to clean things up and adjust things so that they're, more symmetrical. you know, I'm not a robot, so it's not like it's
There's
not
no errors.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just about knowing how to work around it, and yeah.
On the right steps.
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, if I'm like doing like a really light look on the eye, like a very clean, like just like maybe like a little bit of a transition, some like shimmer.
Without too much fallout.
Right, exactly. Then I would probably do the face first, because I would want the eyes and the face to really melt together, like look very, you know, put together, instead of like doing the eyes a different, doing the eyes a different color, different way, and then like adding the face into it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it just seems to be more like blended together and natural, just like you said.
Do you do your makeup in the same way you would someone else's, as far as like the steps?
For the most part, yes. Again, if I'm doing like an eye look like today, I definitely did my eyes first.
Okay.
For sure. And then, for the most part, it's the same process. Obviously, just like maybe a little bit depending on the face and, you know, everything. Things are just like a little bit different products that I use or ways that I do it. But for the most part, everything is the same. Yeah, I do the same bases, like, you know, the same type of way. Yeah, right now I'm still just cutting that crease. Yeah, it takes a little bit to get them perfectly symmetrical, or, you know, just to the point where it's not obvious that they're not symmetrical. Right. Again, I'm not a robot, but that's the key. You know, you gotta, you know, get it to the point where it looks good.
And you feel confident about it.
Exactly.
On the same topic of eyes and steps, is it hard to do an eyeshadow look with someone who has eyelash extensions rather than putting, you know, falsies at the end?
Honestly, no. It actually makes it awesome for me, because like with lashes, it just enhances everything and like adds like a shape to the face and adds like a shape to the eye, which is why I always recommend, you know, if I'm doing a whole eye look, a whole face look, to add lashes to the look, because it just enhances everything and dramatizes everything. So I actually like work with it. I like to work with how the shape of the lashes are going, and I can just see it come together a lot easier, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't like physically interfere with what you're doing?
Not really, no. And like I maneuver like the model as I need to, like if I need them to look down, or if I need them to open or look to the side, like however I need to get it to, you know, work for me, I do, but it's never been an issue for me. I just, you know, and it always ends up looking really good anyway, so like, yeah. I just basically, you know, whatever works. Like, I'm at that point in my craft, basically, where I feel confident enough to just trust the process. Trust the process.
Oh my God, I love that.
To just trust the process and know that, you know, I can maneuver things, I can mix things. It's okay to like not like it and change it up, you know, I'm not perfect. Right. But what I'm passionate about is my craft and getting better at my craft and being good at my craft. So I'll just push myself to that. Exactly.
Well, I was going to say, it's funny because my process for making the episodes is usually that I have an outline, right? And today I don't. I just didn't have time. I've been working like a slave. Yeah. And I have not had time to, as per you, but I just did not have time to do it. And I was like, listen, we're still going to record for Jazz today. Like, we're still going to do it, so I'm just going on the fly. So
I feel like that's the best way to do it sometimes, you know? Like,
it's always organic, but I usually have, like, prepped 10 questions, and I'll just have it on my phone. I'll revisit it if I get stuck. Right. Whereas, like...
Well, in this sense, you're trusting your process, and you're confident in your own craft that you can do it, even without those questions already prepped and ready to go. So here we are, trusting our process.
No, baby. No, this fucking bagel is tough.
I know.
When you get down to when you get down to like the no cream cheese, it's like,
oh no, it's straight just like powering through the Sahara.
Oh, I ain't no New York bagel. I'll tell you that much.
No, yeah, you can tell it. You back?
I'm back.
You back?
Okay, so
let's go.
another process related question.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you find most of your inspo, like when you're looking for looks? Like you sent me 5 screenshots. Were they all from the same place?
I think so. Yeah, I think they were all from Pinterest. So it depends. It depends on how I'm feeling. I have a lot already saved in my phone, but you know, for this type of event, it was specific. So I wanted to. Obviously, I wasn't alive in the 50s, so and 40s. So, and I had an idea, but to put it all together, like I just like to look at like basically like a mood board, you know, essentially, and kind of like get some different vibes and kind of put things together. What am I capable of doing? You know, what do I want to challenge myself with in this certain situation? Like, then I'm thinking about my model, of course. Yeah. What is her eye shape like? You know, how does, you know, how do things, you know, look on her? So I was able to, you know, just Google 1940 or whatever on Pinterest, 1940s looks, makeup looks, and I just scrolled until things popped out at me. And then I screenshot those, and then I kind of like keep going, and then whatever I end up with, basically. Yeah. And so, like, you know, in this circumstance, like, it's you that I'm working with, so I always like to, you know, get your opinion, see what you think, give you some options to choose from. I really, like, don't look at makeup as a one-way street. Like, yes, I'm doing makeup, yes, it's my craft, but like, I'm not one to be like, this is what you should do. Like, I have opinions, and like, I can get you to where you need to be, but like, I always include whoever I'm doing makeup on, like their opinion, you know, throughout the whole process, because I might like something, but they might not. They might have like a strong opinion about something, and I wouldn't know. Exactly. So yeah, for this look, I just, Pinterest it. But, you know, there's also times where I feel like I get a good consensus from, like, Instagram. Like, I'll just, like, scroll through my Explore feed, because obviously it's full of makeup and makeup artists. And I'll just, you know, look at some ideas off of that.
I also use Instagram for inspiration. How about what you use for your wardrobe?
Ooh.
Because I think Jazz mentioned the fact that I literally have been so, not that Jazz has been busy, but I've been so busy, I didn't even look at what the ticket said. And I think Jazz said that there's a makeup artist on board this time, which I don't think there was at the summer Bridgeport Slam. So that was very interesting to note. So Jazmyn is not the makeup artist on duty today, so she signed up as a model, which is very exciting. So how did you pull your look?
Yes. Okay, so again, I definitely went straight to Pinterest, and I looked up some 1940s fashion, some Maryland fashion, again, just to get the vibe. It was a lot of long black dresses, black, just like very sultry, timeless, sexy looks, you know. So then I just started pulling everything out of my closet that had any sort of like satin or fur or velvet, like, you know, very romantic like type like textures. So, and again, I really wanted to focus on dresses mainly, because I just feel like for me, I wanted to get that old Hollywood, like, I don't know, I like sexy, you know. On a daily basis I'm not, you know, and there's only certain times in the day you can be, you know, I guess, in a sense, you know, or like I'm not, or the week, exactly, like I'm not going to work all sexy, you know, like I'm not going to the grocery store all sexy. You sure? I mean, it's not. I'm kidding. But, you know, so like I definitely wanted to go that realm, so grabbed some lace, grabbed some velvet, grabbed some satin, and started putting some stuff together.
What am I doing with my eyes?
Oh, you're gonna look down. Okay. Yeah, where you were at before. So, yep, and then I tried them on, took some videos for Ren, and then sent them over for some approval, because, hey, like, even though I like it, I definitely want to get an opinion from somebody I trust in the fashion realm, which is definitely Ren. And yeah, so then once she approved, I was like, perfect. Let's do it. Yeah. So I have a big fur coat pulled out for today, and I ordered some sheer gloves off of Amazon. So we're gonna get I guess old Hollywood sultry today.
I did not. I was like, oh, indoor location.
Yeah.
That means it's gonna be warm.
That's what I thought too, but
apparently not the case.
well, they said it is heated inside, but that there's so many spaces outside that are also. So like we can do.
I thought it was like a warehouse, so it wasn't heated inside either.
Mm-mm. So inside, like in the main realm of the studio, it is heated. They're saying like there's like hallways and stairwells, and then outside that also has like a lot of potential. So they were like basically warning you, like also bring a coat.
So what are you doing now?
So now I am adding the eyeliner. I shaped up the liner, and now I'm just defining that swoop at the end. I don't know how to explain that one.
Okay, and
like
so
a curve at the end.
You're using a powder for the liner?
Yes, so to map out the liner first, I use a shadow because it's way more forgiving, and I definitely want to give that blended look as well. So I'm kind of like blending it in, and then as I go and like when I'm done, I'll go in with a darker, more defined like liquid liner just to make it stand out more. And then I'll look down. And so now that that crease is good, everything is pretty much pretty much where I need it to be. I'm going to take white shadow and I'm going to pat it down onto the lid.
Where like the concealer is?
Mm-hmm. Just to make it more opaque and give it that white look. Because, yeah, I wanted to add like a shadow on top of that, like really make it
pop.
Yes.
It's so funny. I grew up watching so many makeup gurus, and I just learned so many terms.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I just like really don't have the artistry to actually execute what they're saying.
Right.
But I would, I don't know, just watch it for fun, watch it in the background. For a lot of what I remember, my young days with technology being. So I feel like sometimes I finish your sentences because I'm just so eager to toss out my vocab.
Yeah, so you haven't used it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a good use.
Yeah, honestly, like that's kind of how I started like getting into makeup was the like makeup on YouTube gurus, like the people with the channels. I watched what they were doing and I was like, I think I can do that. Like that makes sense to me.
Right.
Like, why do I want to like go to the store right now and just grab makeup and try this? And I don't know, I've never really felt like gravitated towards something like that before, so that's when I was just like, all right, I'm gonna try this. And then it'll make sense.
At what age did your mom let you wear makeup?
My mom was not a strict mother. Not at all, actually. So I never was really into it per se like that when I was younger. Like it's not like I was putting it on myself. Like I would watch her put it on a lot. I would watch my grandma and her get ready all the time. Like I would sit. They had like a full length mirror in the bathroom, and I would sit down on the floor right underneath them, and I would watch them do their makeup like almost every single day.
That's such a cute visual.
Almost every single day, and both of them had that 90s routine. So they definitely did the contour, and not the contouring, but like the bronzing and the blush, and definitely did like the eyeliner and the eyeshadow and the lips. For sure, the lips was always a thing. My grandma would powder her lips and then line her lips and then powder her lips and then put the lipstick on and then powder them again and then add another layer. Like it was a process. It keeps it on. Like it stays. Yeah. It like gives it longevity, basically.
I've never heard of that. Did you ever do it?
No, not really. I mean, I think I've done it once before, actually, but like not to that extent. Because it's just like, that's how it was back in the day. Like it was
when there weren't so many long wear products.
Exactly. Now it's just not really necessary. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I would watch them do it all the time, and then I think I remember grabbing my mom's lipstick and putting it on every now and again. But I was just never like one to like execute when I was little, but I loved it. Like I enjoyed the whole process. I was huge into fashion, so I would be watching like runways and fashion shows and seeing like the, you know, everyone talk about on the magazines. I'd like, you know, read their magazines, and so that's where it really like stuck out to me. Where I was like, this is what I love. Like, but I never, when I was little or even when I was a teen, never really like utilized it.
Yeah.
I really wasn't in a place in my life to even think about me or what I wanted or where I was gonna be. But you know, so when it finally stuck into my head, because I knew I wanted to do something in the fashion realm. So when I saw that, you know, it was possible that I could possibly do makeup, I'm like, wow, like what if I did makeup for fashion? Like I can do the makeup for that and like watch them walk down the runway. Like I'm still in that realm. It's like super energetic for me. Like I love it so much. Like it's just my passion.
I love it for you.
My whole life. My whole life. So I'm happy that I, you know, listened to my gut.
You have to.
Long story short, my mom never cared if I put makeup on, so I just did it when I wanted to.
Thank you for circling back.
Yes.
What are you doing right now?
So I am adding that liquid liner now because everything is pretty much laid exactly where I want it to be. It looks good. Maybe it's not perfect, but it looks good to the naked eye. And so I'm just now defining all of those lines, because then obviously when I added the shadow, it took away from the dark a little bit, just because the dark was also, that black was also a powder. So
Gotcha.
now I'm just adding the definition back in. It's like the finishing product, basically, if that makes sense.
Do you always use a brush no matter what kind of liner you're working with?
Yes, and that's like the number one thing I tell people when they're like, oh my god, I don't know what to do, like I could never do liner. I'm like, stop using whatever it is that it comes in.
It's crazy because that's what I've always done.
Yeah, that's what everybody does.
Yeah.
That's what everybody does. But your number one tool as a makeup artist is your brushes. So that's like the number one thing that helps people with precision. Obviously, with, you know, it's like a paint. It's like literally like painting. It's literally like painting a paint.
No,
like
100%.
a picture. You're not going to use a thick brush to do like a tiny little detail, you know. And it's also like, it's not just like the size of it, because like obviously this is tiny too. This is tiny and this is tiny, but this is angled and dense and small, and this bends. Right. So look, look at all that give, and this, it doesn't do much. So when you go and you put this on, it bends, and then like your line isn't as sharp, and you can't get that precision. But with this, it's so small and it's so dense that wherever you draw, it goes, and that's it.
Makes so much sense.
Right. So that's where people always have that problem, is they can't maneuver it.
I need to get some precision brushes.
Yep. Like the smaller the better. Like there's no such thing as too small for an eyeliner brush.
Wow.
Like really. And that's what I've learned over the years, you know. So yeah, when I tell people like, you know, just use a brush, they'll come to me and be like, wow, I can't believe I didn't do that. Yeah. And using powder before, like instead of just going in with straight liquid liner, because it's not as forgiving. For me, the way that I work, I do less is more, or like I start with less, and then I just add as I go.
Okay.
Because if you just add a bunch of product to the face, you don't know if it's going to really need all that, and then now you're just working with way too much product on the face. And that's where it could, your makeup never does, but that's where it could end up looking quote unquote cakey. Again, I don't like those words, but I'll just use it for the sake of this video.
Yeah.
Because it's just a lot of product. Cakey just means like just too much product for the face that's on currently.
Yeah.
Yes. Some people need that product. Some people don't. It just depends. And some people think that they need it.
But they don't. Shake, 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 senora, shake it left and right. Where, yeah, yeah. How much of like the product's ingredients go into how well they'll work together? Like, do you find that this combo of two completely different brands work well together, or no, but you need like the shade difference?
So I like the other foundation. Well, I like both of them together because of the finish.
Mm-hmm.
Because they both are like super glowy and they add like
luminosity.
Yeah. And together, like they just work. I mean, some foundations just have like different formulas that work together, and you just kind of gotta try them out.
Are you often using like a million different brands at once?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, there's definitely a couple brands that I use more than most, but I'm not like I gotta just try the product.
Right.
That's it. I gotta try the product. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't matter what brand it is, really.
It's just the quality and the functionality.
Exactly. That's why I always have to try something out for myself. Always.
Yeah.
First.
What's your favorite low-end product, and what's your favorite high-end product?
Low end, I would have to say the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Foundation. It looks best on everybody as far as like the formula goes, or the Fenty, probably. High-end Fenty, low-end Maybelline.
And do you know the price gap between the two roughly?
Honestly, probably like only $10. Fenty is not
Really?
as expensive as a lot of the high-end products are. It's definitely on like the lower end spectrum for price range compared to other higher end brands, for sure. For sure. Because I mean, Dior foundation, it's like, I don't know, $58.
Yeah.
$60 for like that.
Well, what is math though? I felt like it's damn near the same.
Probably.
Like maybe 30? Or...
Probably like 30, 40 maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely don't try math.
Yeah.
I don't try math because it's for me, like every time I try to work with math products, it just doesn't work for like everybody. It only works for certain amounts of people. So I'm like, why am I going to spend the money? Because I have to buy it for
all the shades.
A majority of people. Yeah, I don't want to just buy one foundation for one type of person and then call it a day. I don't know. That's just not how I work.
I definitely think too, I don't use my makeup that, I mean, you know, when we do shoots, I pull it out, but I don't really use my makeup that often. So a little bit goes a long way for me in terms of product. Like, it's not like I'm using this on a daily basis. It might be once a week, maybe 2 times a week. So I think, like, you know, it doesn't hit me as hard when I buy a MAC foundation because it's like once a year.
Exactly.
Or twice a year, depending on how light I get.
Exactly. Yeah, for personal use, I mean, go for it. And, like, don't get me wrong, like, I do have products, but, like, I can't, like, rely on them like that.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. He recommended me that powder.
Oh, the Air's fun. Yeah, it is. It's really good. That's a staple.
Yeah.
It'll always be good.
And that was outside of the store. I had to get that at Walmart.
Yes. Oh, they didn't have it at Ulta?
No.
Weird.
Maybe not at the time, but yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I like it too because you can like more so get that like close to the skin tone, like natural. Like I don't like to do too
highlight.
Too light, and when it comes out like that, I'm always like, oh, no,
Yeah.
because I like it to be very, very like seamless. So I feel like this gives like the most seamless. And I just love the formula, like. It's like barely there, you know, like you can add it as you go, but like it's barely there when you put it on. Look up. Like look at the, just from a little bit, look at the difference between the two sides.
Yeah.
It just like airbrushes it, I feel.
Yeah, I love it.
And I'm wiping it off on my hand.
Yeah, I was going to ask because I've never seen anyone do that before.
Yes, I'm pushing it into the puff. And I'm taking the excess off on my hand. So all that product that's on my hand right now is not going to go on your face because you don't need it all. We're working with small amounts of powder at a time.
It's really so good.
Stop! You look like a doll! I can't.
I love it so much.